For me, for the fans, for the media, for everybody who cares about this at all. This is one of those perfect fights at the perfect time with the two perfect guys. I mean, the backstory is incredible. What these guys are capable of doing is incredible. And they're facing each other at the prime of their career in the UFC. It literally doesn't get any better than this for a middleweight championship fight.
Could not agree more. Dana, obviously the two losses, one was a decision. A lot of people think Israel won. The second, he probably got the better of Alex in the first 2 rounds and then he gets knocked out. But it's kickboxing. It's a different sport. Have fans looked at those past fights too much and given too much attention, too much air to those fights? Because let's face it, it's not MMA.
100%. And the best way that I can explain Israel Adesanya and this fight, Israel Adesanya likes to fight all the time. He's ready to go. He doesn't care who he fights. A lot of people talk a lot of smack publicly, but behind the scenes, it's a whole nother ball game when you're trying to make fights with guys. And especially if you look at the backstory with Pereira, Israel Adesanya wanted to turn around immediately. When we told him he was fighting Pereira, he was like, perfect. That's exactly what I want. I mean, you just, and then for Pereira, I mean, mentally, you would think Pereira has the edge in this fight.
Yeah.
But Israel didn't even try to stay away from this fight, back out of it, give me longer to train, any of this stuff. He did not care. He wanted Pereira. Pereira wants him. There's nothing better than that when you're a fight fan.
Yeah, a beast. Dana, you always have a fighter too that might not be the one that's getting the most attention, but one that you say, hey, that matchup, it's going to make for a good fight. Is there one that you like up or down the card?
Well, the thing about this card is obviously the main event is incredible, but then the co-main event, you got Carlos Esparza versus Weili Zhang. Weili Zhang is one of the most exciting female fighters of all time, and Carlos Esparza goes in there, takes you down, grinds on you, and then breaks you down and beats you. Weili Zhang will push the pace in this fight and make it super exciting. That should be great. And after just talking about those two fights, Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
I mean, this I hope I'm wrong, but probably fight of the night. I mean, there's no way in hell that fight isn't fireworks. Then you got Frankie Edgar, who's been around here forever, a local to the area.
Yeah.
People love him. This whole card is stacked with unbelievable fights.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Michael Chandler and Poirier is going to be like Chandler and Gaethje, and woo.
I agree. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not fight of the night. That means because there was a fight actually better than that fight and more exciting. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm probably not.
Dana, is it possible for one of those guys to do something so spectacular that they jump Volkanovski for that Islam fight? I know there's been a lot of talk, reports that it's very close.
If you look at what Volkanovski has accomplished, how he's defied the odds and what he's done, if a guy like that comes to me and says he wants to fight, how do I say no to him? If he's that adamant that that's what he wants to do, but we're still working on it.
Yeah, you can't say no. I know you got to run in a second here, Dana. Let me quickly get you on a Power Slap. Big news today. TV deal. Dana, I know how important you feel like The Ultimate Fighter was to bringing the sport into the mainstream, and now look at it. Is that the goal? Is that the blueprint for the slap fighting organization? Get to know, get their personalities out there, put these guys on television, and the sport will grow from there.
100%. So I totally got into this stuff in like 2017 when all the slap stuff started coming up on my Instagram. So I started diving into it, looking at people that were out there, promoters and people who had done it. And, I went to Frank and Lorenzo Fertitta again and said, hey, I got an idea. Tell me what you think. And then our television partner, Craig Peligian, they all loved it. They wanted to do it. So we started working on it. We got it sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, a couple weeks ago. Now it's legit. It's a real sport. Health and safety's in place. Then we went out and tried to find the perfect TV partner to get this thing out there, learn about the fighters, learn about their backstories, learn a little bit more about the sport. And we did a deal with TBS, going to be an 8-part series on TBS that comes out in early January. And yeah, I'm hoping, listen, this stuff is perfect for social media, but I also think it's perfect for television. It's fascinating. The characters are fascinating. And I think it's going to do very well.
I can't wait. Last question, Dana. I know how fondly you think of this guy. Took forever, took way too long, in my opinion. But thankfully, Cain Velasquez, at least for the time being, is at home. Any thoughts on Cain finally after 8 months sitting in jail, being home with his family, Dana?
Yeah, I'm happy for him and his family to finally be back together. Cain Velasquez is a good man. He's a good person. And I'm hoping that the judge that looks at this case says, you know what? This family suffered enough. As if the kids haven't suffered enough in this thing. They lost their father for almost a year. So yeah, hopefully the real justice gets served in this case. And Cain Velasquez, who is a good man, a good father, a good husband, gets to be at home with his family.